The stories you've never heard.
Who did Suzanne Hill famously slap?
The jokes behind the jokes.
What would happen if I did a great big fart?
For the first time ever on Ash, Luttsy, and Susie O'Neill.
That chair I just peed a pants.
We go behind the laughter.
Oh, hello, welcome. Happy Friday. It's the Producers Podcast. End of the week. I mean, the guys have all left the studio. They've off. Their weekend has started, and ours will probably start pretty soon. We've just got a few loose ends to tie up here. Hello, Lachie. Hello, Alicia.
Hello.
End of the week.
I actually don't think our weekends will start soon because the
no,
three of us all
we
have
are.
a work day tomorrow.
Damn it, Lachie.
I'm sorry for reminding you.
Sorry, guys, everyone else.
to make up
You
for
can
the
start
public
your
holiday.
weekend. You can do it, but no. We'll all be working tomorrow, won't we?
We will be.
Yeah, but I'm sure we'll get that time back. Hey, guys. Hey. No. But the Handball Blitz semi-finals tomorrow, which is, I mean, it is exciting. I was out there in the courts this morning, and yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm actually excited about this. I can, maybe because we've built this up for a long time. I'm like, okay, I'm believing everything I'm saying here. This is nice.
I feel like I should start taking bets now on whether or not I'm going to forget that it's on.
I was going to say, please
up.
do not take bets on Handball Blitz.
Yeah.
No.
You cannot gamble on Handball Blitz.
I
All
told
markets have been
Lachie,
suspended. Have you not been listening to the Handball Blitz podcast?
No, I did tell Lachie that he needs to text me tonight to remind me because I just keep, literally within 10 minutes of this conversation, I will forget again that it's on tomorrow. So
Okay, how about this?
that's
How about
not good.
you set your alarm, if you can, through a music service to the Sweets Ballroom Blitz, and if you just wake up to the Handball Blitz theme tune playing, you will remember. You will
that's
remember.
true.
Yeah. It's been an interesting end of the show because, I mean, there's nothing quite like when another Nova show interviews a guest, but our show chooses not to interview that guest. And so that guest comes into our studio.
Which is our right.
Is our right? The guest comes into the Matty Rose studio, and the guys are sitting in studio going, should we have said yes to that interview? Feeling a little bit kind of awkward about it.
It's an interesting thing, and this person has been around before in a similar circumstance, and a certain member of our team here in the studio has their own beef, and I'm not sure if they vetoed this interview because of past transgressions.
That's true.
I would totally understand if they did. However, it's a bit of an awkward
Neither
moment.
confirm nor deny.
That's all right. It's a very good call, Alicia, and very smart of you. But look, when said person and said entourage rolled in this morning, the guys do have a look, but at the end of the day, it's not essentially their decision. Like, Alicia, you'll pitch an interview to them. So so unless they come to you going, oh, hey, by the way, I really want to talk to this person.
Yeah.
It might be someone very specific in that case, like a story they know of. But you're mainly the one who is saying, hey, this musical artist, this TV show, they're looking to do interviews to promote whatever, and you'll pitch it to them going, hey, by the way, you'll give the spiel, and they'll kind of go yes or no. And at some point, I'm probably sure, they probably said no to this because
They did. I remember bringing it up with them.
it's always good that you have that memory because we know that they'll have no memory of it. It's either they'll say yes to it at the time you pitch it, and then it'll come back around like the day of, oh, by the way, we've got so-and-so. Why do we have them? I'm
Why are we talking to that person? Or why are we not talking to this person? Because
Exactly,
you
yeah.
said no.
You can't win. You can't
Yeah.
win. But you're right. It is a fun exercise when you see them here for someone else. And also sometimes you start to understand where the hierarchy of Nova is.
Yeah, sure.
Because I don't know whose show it was that was interviewing, but they used the magical powers of radio to hook up Matty Rowe's studio. So
Yep.
Matty Rowe got booted out of her studio momentarily. And,
Yeah.
she's on at the time during the 9 a.m. hour. She's on. So she's made space, but she's a
We should
professional.
really
She
have
can make it
more
happen.
studios added. Like a guest studio.
Alicia, we're not getting anything new in this building. I can tell you that right now.
There's not space for a spare studio. You'd have to extend down to another
We'll have to
floor.
take Boz's office. Sorry, Boz.
Yeah, that would take a lot of
There
infrastructure.
are actually a few
work.
spare rooms here that
There
aren't
are.
being used.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, Nick Michaels, I don't think he's in at the moment, but I don't think you're telling this artist, hey, go sit in the Nick Michaels
They
studio.
could easily put a studio
Oh yeah, but the King of Smooth, you wouldn't ever roll the King
in
of
that
Smooth.
big empty corner near where Nick and Mitch sits.
Well, you tell that to Luke McHugh.
I'm gonna. This is why
You
I'm saying
pitch
it.
that to him.
That's why I'm saying it on the podcast, so I can clip it and send it.
Oh dear. Speaking of things also that have just happened today, there was a fun email interaction that I was a part of.
Interesting.
That I saw the email and I was like, I don't know if this person realizes what they're saying, and it was from the right motive. Basically, what happens from time to time is we'll get sent a script, and it's Alicia's job to approve said script to say, yes, the guys will say this. She's essentially the manager of Ash and Luttsy.
And Alicia approves all scripts that go to air as well. So from 6 a.m. to 9:15, when the radio show is scripted, she signs off on everything the guys say as well.
Well, that's the role of an executive.
And that's what you have to do, yeah.
And so any jokes that you have that you're not happy with,
Yeah, she'll
direct
workshop
them
them
to
a
me.
bit. Yep.
Yeah.
take it back to Alicia. But one of the scripts that we got today was for an ad. I think Luttsy was involved in this last year. It was Finn McCool's. They do a best...
Oh, the hottest ginger,
The hottest
yes.
ginger award. There you go.
Our good friends at Finn McCool's, yeah, it's been an annual competition they run, and Luttsy has usually emceed it for years.
I think Maddie Rowe was involved.
as
at some
Brisbane's
point.
hottest ginger, yes, absolutely.
Anyway, so the script
Maddie
comes
could pull off
through.
ginger. I'm just thinking.
I
Yeah,
was about to say, why
Maddie
was she
could pull-
hosting it? She's not ginger.
I don't know.
No,
Anyway,
Nova talent. Anyway,
so the script comes through and it basically says if you've ever been called Ranger, Ginge, or Bluey, we're calling on you.
Yep, 100%.
Now, Alicia, you I think thought the word Bluey, your mind
Means
went
the
to
dog.
the
and
character.
I emailed them back and I said, hey, are you happy for me to change the word Bluey to Bingo, I think it is, because
Yeah.
Bingo's the one that's orange.
Yeah.
Oh, this is beautiful.
and then I emailed again and said I can make it Bingo Healer if you're looking for clarification, because I thought maybe the reason they wrote Bluey
This is beautiful.
was
Yeah.
because it was clarification.
Well, to
And
in your defense,
100%.
you had someone else in the booth with you at that point in time who was a young mum with two kids who I'm sure would be watching Bluey Healer, the TV show, and thinking, oh, no, yeah, I'm with Alicia on this one. It's Bingo that's the one with the orange fur.
I would argue that she's led the witness here.
Yeah, well, I don't know who's leading who, but yeah, I read your email responses going, oh, I'm fairly certain that they're referring to, I guess, the fact that when my understanding is when Irish people came to Australia, they were called Bluey because Bluey was like, I guess, a nickname for people who fight often.
It's for being in blue, but also
It
it's an ironic nickname for a redhead.
So Lachie just, sent me a private message off the email chain and said, hey, I think it's referring to the Australian slang. And I had to send another email saying, okay, Lachie's just informed me of this. Obviously, that's just my Englishness shining through. Please ignore all previous. But that is like the dumbest way to call someone ginger I've ever heard. Hey, Bluey. Like,
Yeah, well, I mean, after all the Tom Tate Ranger stuff for the week,
Yeah.
gee, you can't. And
doesn't make
if Summer
sense.
Heights High taught us anything, it's a slur. You
He's
can't
right.
use it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Dylan might have to beep this out afterwards. Like, I'm not too sure about it.
So I forgot about the Summer
Never
Heights High
forget.
reference. That's
Again,
a great.
another
Sorry,
reference
Ranger.
going over my head.
You've never seen Summer Heights High?
No.
Have you seen anything that Chris Lilly has produced?
I saw
Jamae,
Jamae, private school girl.
Okay,
Okay.
well, to understand Jamae
Yeah.
Private School
And
Girl,
I
you
s-
must watch Summer
Oh
Heights
no,
High.
I did see Summer Heights High,
Yeah.
Okay.
but I don't remember that reference.
Okay.
Again, I've said this many, many times. I just imagine like all the nation's high school teachers 1 week after that came out going, guys, a show to start on the ABC last night. Here are the words that you are going to hear for the next 2 years.
It's the same. I mean, I saw it literally on Facebook, or no, it wouldn't have been Facebook. There's no way it would have been on Facebook. It must have been on Twitter. Someone had posted banned words, and it was all this Gen Alpha slang, like skibbity.
That's lost on me. I'm not going to even try.
I
No.
don't understand
No,
it.
don't.
I feel so
the,
old.
The trick is don't engage.
Yeah.
And I'm going to choose not to engage. But basically, all you need to know is there's a list of banned words in this classroom, and I imagine it was the exact same when Summer Heights High was released.
Puck you miss.
Puck you miss.
What?
I said it was with a P.
Yeah, see, and again, and here's Chris Lilly doing Polynesian accents, and look, it's still a seminal comedy, and if Raygun taught us anything, the references were still there. Like we're rolling out like 17-year-old references.
It's true.
And it's still height of pop
Yeah.
culture, and all of us maybe deep down thought it was a Chris Lilly bit. But anyway, we have unpacked a very interesting area of little cultural oversights. Our girl from Wigan.
There's a lot of difficulties as an executive producer of a show that's in a different country than what you know.
And then it's more
Because,
specific. sorry.
again, with interviews, I don't know who's actually relevant or not to pick. So I
Sure,
just picked
okay.
everyone.
Yeah, that's
And,
not
like-
bad
Right
though.
move. Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's like, has anybody heard of this person?
Oh, but I think it's a very tough one for you.
And then
because-
sometimes I'm like, has anybody heard of this person? Everyone's like, of course. Tell me about the most famous person in Australia.
But we also have like quite a very high regard, especially because this is Brisbane and this is a very Brisbane show.
Yeah.
That there's a very high acclaim and regard for people that would not mean anything to anyone in Sydney, for example.
Yeah,
So
this is true.
like a Broncos '90s player.
Yeah.
Like
There is
you said like who's Steve Renner? And I was like the Pearl. What do you mean? What, how do you not know that?
I do get a lot of that.
Maybe Wigan Super League players, you'd know back to front, but.
Yes, sure. Let's say yes.
And to be fair, there's also probably on our show especially, you look at other Brisbane radio shows, they might have some people that are uniquely Brisbane. Our show also skews quite heavily towards sports stars as well, which you could make the argument that those sports stars are massive in the eyes of Ash and Luttsy and Suze.
Yeah, of course.
But to the general punter, the general listener, they go, oh yeah, I remember the Pearl.
Yes.
But for someone like myself who... I am a different demographic. I'm younger. I actually don't care all that much about some of these people that the guys seem to really care about. And that's okay. That's part of the job. Our job is to make sure that we're putting on the best show for all of Brisbane. And so we might interview someone that we have no idea about.
Well,
I guess for you then, it's still a good thing that you're pitching these people. I think you can still just get away with the idea that, hey, I'm actually not from Brisbane.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to pitch.
But for some reason, Susie always forgets I'm English, which is wild. She
that's
goes,
strange.
I don't think you have an English accent.
She's
I'm like,
wrong.
Suze, open your ears,
Yeah.
damn woman.
Say that to her face, I dare you.
I would.
In the words of Ash Bradnam,
Do I detect an accent?
Yeah.
That has been wild
I
this
was
week.
very upset that today we had an English listener on, and I didn't think...
From a similar part of the world.
I did think of it, but I wasn't sure if the same thing was going to happen again.
I can tell
but
she's
I
Northern.
should have briefed her saying, if Ash says, do I detect an accent, say no.
Oh my
'Cause
god,
that would have
been
been
good.
so funny.
That would have been. And
Because
now we
you-
sit here reminiscing about what could have been
Reminiscing.
and yeah.
Or re-missing, as in we're missing it again.
Yes.
Lachie, you are a master of the language that her country came up with.
What can I say? We sit here in remiss. I think that's also a
Yeah.
term. Thinking about what could have been had Alicia prepped the caller correctly.
Okay.
But
Thanks,
that's,
Lachie.
That's okay.
Would
That's
you have
alright.
done the same?
I would have actually.
Look,
Yeah.
you can't. There's so much you cannot prepare for.
Hmm.
We know that on this show that if we make any conversation about space, it's eventually going to end up at Uranus. That's
Yes.
just going to happen. So we know not to put space-related
Hmm.
questions. It's smarter than Suze. But there are some things that we always know, and now I think we now know that if you detect an accent. I mean, would you put on the little info screen that they have in front? They can see all the callers coming up.
I wrote on the is from England.
Okay.
Has been in Australia for however long it
Accent. You just write accent detected. Accent alert.
was. That would be funny.
Because if we can unpack what happened on Monday with
Sure.
Suhas very quickly,
Yeah.
there was. I mean, it was the most beautiful sort of counterpunch by a caller.
Yeah.
Because it was so abundantly clear that Suhas had an accent, and he was not trying to hide it or Aussie it up or anything like that. And Ash did that classic thing where he tried to play it lightly, but his first line of defense was gone as soon as it got
Yeah.
counterpunched, and then he had nothing. And Luttsy was never going to come in and help him.
Yeah. It was brilliant.
It was
Suhas.
just beautiful comedy.
He-
A very deserving call of the week, and well
Yeah.
done to Suhas.
Yeah, fantastic work from him. It has been the week also, I should say, for accents, because Nick, you rolled out Tony Greig impression,
Greig, yes.
the South African cricketer who
Former South African and English cricketer, yes.
It took me a minute to pin the accent because I don't know who that is. Again, I'm English. I don't know who that is. And at first I thought you were trying very badly to do Scottish.
Oh, no. But if you, ironically, had you have said that, if Ash had have said Scottish during that for some reason, that would have infected my head, and then a weird Scottish hybrid would have got in there.
that's
Yeah.
the risk of doing accents
Oh,
and
100%.
impressions.
Absolutely. And look, it's a dicey area. There are some accents you can do, there are some you can't. But I think if you do an accent that denigrates the group of people that you are imitating and turns into mocking, that's when it's in a bad space.
I think
whenever
that
we all know
anybody-
we know there are certain ones you cannot do.
Like me, nobody replicate mine.
I think it's similar to the Family Guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Family Guy color chart.
The
100%.
Family Guy color chart is I think the guide of what accents you can and can't do. I'm not. If you don't understand that reference,
Yeah.
there's
Meme culture, you'll know it. Her brother probably made the meme.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But Alicia, like my goal one day is truly to perfect your Wigan accent, and I'm not even close. I'm not even going to try.
Well, my accent's not that Wigan
no,
anymore.
it's not.
Like I feel
can
like
do
I've gone.
today.
I think
Today.
I've gone. I lived in South Australia long enough that now I have kind of a posh
Yeah,
accent.
'cause I've got a weird
I'm
accent.
really posh now. Like this is posh for me.
I saw you crush that Coke Zero. You were not posh at all.
You should have heard how I used to sound. It was awful.
I mean, probably your poshest moment on the show this morning is when Luttsy was, trying to explain rectangular poo, and your face must have been so disgusted and horrified that he could feel it burning behind him. That he actually brought it up. Just your facial expression managed to get.
Yeah, I know. No, it was Mitch that brought it up because he's looking directly at me. But yeah, it was not a great chat for 9 o'clock in the morning. I think that was more my disappointed producer face more than. I mean, I was disgusted in chat as
Disappointed
well,
producer
but
face, I love
also,
that.
yeah.
All right, well, that's our podcast title today, Disappointed Producer Face. I've got a tax appointment very, very soon.
Oh, do you now?
Any last-minute little ideas, guys, of what I should be trying to claim? Any...
Streaming services?
Yeah, got them. Don't worry.
Spotify.
Lock that
The
away.
number of different dongles that you've had to purchase
I
to
didn't
to
claim
make
Spotify.
your crosses work successfully.
For five-
Christmas gift last year from the.
No, I never got one for
No,
Dawn.
remember
no,
he,
you
he
didn't,
didn't
did
get
you?
one.
Yeah, well, that was my protest against Timo. I'm just not into fast services. I'm sorry.
I'm with you on that front. What else have you?
You brought Timo to us.
No,
you introduced the plague to us.
I don't think I did. I think Luttsy did.
Yeah, probably lots of you, right?
I have always been against fast fashion and fast, and I'm very anti, I guess, exploitative labour.
You're a good man, Lachie.
But I won't talk all that much about it because that's boring to
It
listen to.
is boring.
No, I think that's probably the main ones.
Yeah,
'cause I
those are the
think
main ones.
you've spent a fair bit of money. Have you done many trips or gone on?
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't do a cross for the show when I was away on annual leave, so I
Yeah,
can't,
that's-
in Ireland, so I can't claim that.
Luttsy did bring up the fact that you were in
He
Ireland.
did on the show, but
I
I
don't
sent
think-
photos. But look,
I think that's a bit of a grey area with the tax man.
and honestly, grey areas with the tax man tend to be something you should stay away from.
Yeah.
So if somehow, which is my greatest fear, like I just know the one thing I will go to jail for is like poorly done white collar crime. I will just get something wrong and I'm going to jail. Like I just know that's going to be the case. So it's been real, guys.
As long as you iron those white collars, you should be
Absolutely
pretty good.
right. Starch them properly. And
Yeah.
Lachie, like if you do send me like a file in a cake to get myself out of prison, just keep the receipt. That'd be nice.
Sounds good. I'll make sure I claim that. on
Please
tax.
do.
Yeah.